we had overtime last night in Kansas City. So, in a way, this is overshadowing what was just an incredible weekend of football, but it's what the world is talking about this morning, and it's NFL overtime. And did the Bills get screwed? Let's start there.
Yeah.
Did Buffalo get screwed by the NFL's overtime rules?
See, it can be both. I can dislike the rule,
Okay.
which I do, and also think that's not the reason the Bills lost. And I don't think that's the reason the Bills lost.
Correct.
They lost because they didn't know to squib the football, and also they couldn't stop them for 13 freaking seconds.
Right.
So that it can be both in this instance. So when I take overtime, and again, this is bad form by me, but I look at it, and it should be universal, and it should be unified, but I don't do that. I say after I watch a game, did that team have ample chances to win the football game?
Right.
Buffalo had ample chances to win the football game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it would have been one that would have been, real 0-0 game, and then a coin flip, and then they go down and score one touchdown and think, well, they really didn't get an opportunity. They had so many opportunities that I can't walk away from watching that game and say, like, Buffalo lost that game. I'm not so sure Kansas City won it. That's how I look at that football game.
It's a good way to look at it, I think. And the Bills did not get screwed by the rules. They didn't. I said a couple minutes ago, if you're a Bills fan this morning and you're heartbroken over this game, you need to be mad at your defense for giving up 44 yards in 10 seconds when the game should have been in hand. You should be mad that there were 13 seconds on the clock to begin with because your coach didn't call for that squib kick that you mentioned.
I mean, Leslie Frazier shouldn't even have been able to ride home with them.
And then on top of it, you get into overtime, and there's people talking like it's just a given. Well, I mean, the Chiefs got the ball first. Of course they're going to score a touchdown. No. You don't even have to keep Kansas City from scoring necessarily.
No, right.
All you have to do
goal.
is just hold them to a field goal. And instead, 75 yards in 7 plays like a hot knife through butter. And that, if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, is where you should start your criticisms this morning. So, I agree with you. If the Bills got screwed, it was not by the rules. It was by their own team. It was by the other side of the ball. If you're Josh Allen and you're mad this morning, be mad at your head coach, be mad at your defense. Now, as for NFL overtime.
Yeah, I don't see, here's the thing, and this is not, again, good for sports talk radio, but or life, really. I tell my kids this. Don't come to me with a problem unless you have some sort of solution. Yeah. I don't know if I have the best solution. I don't know if I even have a solution. I'm watching this game and I see that happen and I go, do I like the college overtime system? Maybe, or the way it kind of used to be.
Until you get to the 2-point conversions,
right.
Yeah.
The way it used to be, and you trade off from the 25, even trade off from the 40 if you want to trade off from the 40.
Right.
Because it feels
Make
like
it a little more
48-yard field goals or whatever, if you just make a few yards. 48-yard field goals are automatic now. Bang, they push them through. I don't have a great solution, but I can get on board for people who say what happened last night is not the structure in which these games need to be played under. Yeah, especially for all the marbles, winning you're in, or winning you keep playing, and losing you're done kind of situation.
And I'm fine with simply making it, hey, each team gets the ball on offense once, right?
Then what if they both score 7?
And that's exactly the response, and it's exactly what I would say about last night's game. If you give the Bills and Josh Allen the ball after that touchdown throw to Kelsey last night, and let's say they walk right back down the field like both of those teams had been doing for the last 6 minutes. Okay, great. Now we're tied again. The ball's going to go back to Kansas City. You know what the Chiefs are going to do? They're going to drive about 40, 50 yards, depending on where they return the kick to or where they start the drive. And then they're going to kick a 45-yard field goal. And they're going to win because they won the toss and they got the ball first. And it came back around to them. So you're never going to fix the fact that overtime starts with a coin toss.
Did the Steelers get screwed in the Tebow game?
No, because that's the rule.
Right.
I mean, don't let Tim Tebow don't let Demaryius Thomas run the length of the field.
And then that should be, I'm not saying it's your argument, but if people are saying that Buffalo got screwed, then they should be also saying that Pittsburgh got screwed, right?
You're right. And here's the thing.
I don't hear that. I don't ever hear that.
You can say the fans got screwed. Like if you really let's Allen and Mahomes back and forth.
And back then, they could have kicked a field goal and won.
Right. It's like Rocky and Drago, just trading punches, right? Who's going to be the last man standing? And you want to see more of that. So I get like the instant knee-jerk reaction from especially a neutral fan, a neutral observer like us, who's like, oh, come on. I wanted to see Allen get the ball again. But guess what? It doesn't always work, though. If the NFL wants to appease the fans, then by all means, change the rule. If you can get the competition committee to do it, when they tried to do it 2 years ago after the Chiefs got screwed by this rule in the AFC Championship by the Patriots, if they want to change the rule, change it to each team has the ball on offense once, and then whatever happens from there happens. But that does not, wanting.
I don't walk away from this game and my big takeaway is, wow, overtime's all screwed up. My big takeaway is, wow, what a weekend of football and what a game of football.
Right.
That's my takeaway. I don't go and maybe because I'm not in it, I'm not part of the NFL, or I'm not somebody that's a Bills fan or plays for the Bills or anything. But I'm not shaking my fist in the air going, this is all screwed up. No, my takeaway is freaking tackle somebody or squib the football and make it not 13 seconds, make it 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? Find that loophole in the rules and defensive hold everybody off the scrimmage line. Tackle them if you need to. And it bleeds it all the way down, and maybe there's one untimed play. Take your chances there. Take your chances with that.
That again is the biggest takeaway from last night specifically is that Sean McDermott, and if I'm a Bills fan this morning, this is the first place I'm going. Sean McDermott, who was thoroughly outcoached in his first meeting with Bill Belichick this year, and then said after the game, well, let's not give Bill Belichick too much credit because he only threw the ball 3 times, was outcoached in the end. He was outcoached in the end. This is a guy who I understand he had opportunities to make good, and he did. He came back and he beat the Patriots, absolutely crushed them last weekend. That's all well and good. It takes one decision to say, hey, guys, just squib it, drill it right in an up back. I don't care what you do, but make sure the ball hits the ground and goes at somebody who has to field it and then run inbounds.
Right.
That's all you got to do. And when there's an oversight like that, it's just, and your defense plays the way they did. I don't care if it's against Patrick Mahomes or not.
There was a way to give your team the best opportunity to circumnavigate overtime, and they didn't do it. Could he have still gotten overtime? Mahomes is a magician. I get it. I understand it. You give him 4 seconds. Maybe he could have found Tyreek Hill, who runs so fast, and gained 60 yards in 40 seconds. Or in 4 seconds, and then marched your field goal team on and done that.
Right.
Perhaps that could have happened, but they did not coach it all the way to zeros.
No, they did. It's kind of like Ed said a couple minutes ago. It's kind of like they took the lead with 13 seconds left, and everybody just checked out and was, starting their celebration already. And it's just 13 seconds, man. It's enough.
For people, here's the thing.
Patrick Mahomes.
I think that there are a lot of people who say that sucks what they saw. Okay, and I'll listen to it. But there's not a lot of people that have come and said, here's something better. Because you can't just play a full quarter.
No.
You can't do that. Because they're never going to do that in the regular season to dive into the next window from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Like, they're never going to allow that.
It's real simple, and each team touches the ball once. And I think that's
But
the
for
easiest.
Me, that's not, because if both score a touchdown, you're right back to where you were.
But then you do away with the argument of, well, our guy never got a chance to touch the football. Well, yeah, he did. And he evened the other team up, and then you blew it from there, right? Like, you still got your chance.
What do you do from there? Sudden death?
Yeah. I mean, as long as each team has touched the ball on offense, we can call game whenever we get somebody in the lead, essentially, in overtime.